Hello you beautiful peeps, my name is John, welcome to my channel. Today we've got the SCY16103 Pro, and if you've seen my last video, I will link it here. We went swimming with it. It turned into a submarine 7 times, but yet still kept on driving, kept on going, and it was so unbelievable for a car that's under $100 US. So the reason I'm making this video today is, quite frankly, can we fix it? I don't think we can. Now, to be clear, as soon as we got back from the day's filming, I put it straight into a bucket of cold water, clean water, took it out, and then sprayed all the electronics with WD-40 to remove what moisture there was in there, and then it's been drying ever since. I did spray it one more time this morning, and I have no idea if it's going to work. I honestly do not, but I doubt it will do, because we all know at the end of the day, electronics and very, very salty seawater do not go well together. So I hope that the steering still works, but if you saw the video, you probably noticed that the steering was getting less and less for every time it went for a swim. So who knows? We'll find out together. So that's a good start. I have plugged in the 3000 milliamp hour 3S battery. Steering, that's a surprise, actually. I thought that would definitely be the thing that didn't work. Obviously, it was sand and whatnot in the mechanism, and forward and back. So there you go, ladies and gents. Does it work? No, it does not. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. Maybe more WD-40 will help it get on, but to be honest with you, what I also wanted to see was, a lot of people suspected that this car would be a big pile of rust dust. And as you can see, even these screws haven't rusted. Now, I've just finished making the video for the Armour fire team, and that didn't go in salt water, that just drove around, and that's rusted its screws and bolts everywhere. So money doesn't always buy quality, in my opinion, ladies and gents, and you can see the drive shafts and CVD joints are not rusty, where on the fire team Armour they are. The suspension is not rusty, but there again, these is suspension from the WL Toys 144001, and again, that's a cheap Chinese brand. They are not rusty. I'm also interested on what's happening on the inside of this car though, because obviously seawater would get everywhere, and in this case, I think it's going to be in the differentials and whatnot. I'm not too sure about the front though. Watch this. Let's see what happens when I push the back down. We could be lucky, but there could be sand in there, of course. And of course, this may not be working because this here has got just bundles of sand in there, which is more than possible. I have this layer of WD-40 everywhere. So I think what I'd like to do is get inside and see what's going on with this car. The fact that it lasted as long as it did, 7 times in seawater, kept on going. It was still driving to the end of shooting. We drove it up and down the beach another couple of times off camera, and it was still running at its full power. It's incredibly impressive. But after all of that, if the only thing that I need to replace is this 35 amp ESC, I think that's well worth it, in my opinion. Well, not worth it, you don't want any damage, do you? But for it to turn into a submarine 7 times. Now, I will inform you of one thing. I have already been into the rear of this car. That was because it was not turning. You see that the front's turning, but the rear wasn't, and I was concerned that it was a differential issue. So I took it apart just off camera, just quickly. But if you see, when I push this down, now it runs smoothly. So it's just the drive cup that's catching on one of the sides. So I have put my white lithium grease in the rear diff. So in theory, I should know how to do it very quickly, but I can't remember. Oh man. So I'm going to start with the rear first, because obviously I'm very interested in what's happening here as well. I am hoping, to be honest with you, that it is just dust, but no, not dust, sand, but we'll find out. So both of the upper shocks need to come off, and where possible, I'm just going to put the screws back in, because I've been very forgetful today. That is roasting hot. How's that possible after 2 or 3 turns? Oh well. Right. I believe that these two have to come off here because it's the upper part of the diff, so they'll come out now. It's nice having the camera back down here rather than up there with the bigger armor vehicles. And these two here. Ooh! Oh, I forgot they were so long. Come on. Here you go. And then these two here, one that side, one here. So, can we get this out now? Yes, we can. However, I have noticed that the upper arms are still attached, so I'm just going to take these long screws out here. Bolts. No, I'm not. There we go. That's to hold the upper suspension arm in, which means that they can come off and I can take these out and have a good look that there is no rust. Unbelievable. Right, let's get this up and out. Oh my! Oh, wow. Oh, okay, all right. Okay. All right, I want to see straight off the bat, look at the amount of gunk in there, ladies and gents. Bless its little cotton socks. I want to see if this will now run. So that is on. Ding, ding, ding. Ah, what a shame. So it's definitely the ESC then, but still had to get in there to tidy this lot up, didn't we? Take this out. Oh no. So I think a little bit of seawater got in there. Oh, I wonder why. One thing that I did want to point out to you while we're here is notice how the spur gear is metal and obviously the pinion is metal, they usually are. And the reason I wanted to point this out is because obviously this is the Pro version and it comes with friction shocks, which is still a disconnect to me. I couldn't figure out why. And then I got in here and saw that these are metal. So they've made such an attempt to make this car so well and so durable and then put friction shocks on it. What? Doesn't make sense to me at all. Right. There's not going to be water in here. That much I do know at least. So I'll give that a quick clean. In fact, I'm going to clean everything quickly. I'm going to take that to be washed properly, I think. I'm going to get into the front because I need this drive shaft out as well. So let's turn this around. And same procedure as before. So these two can come off. Oh, that is the screw for those that need to know. Okay, and I assume the same thing here. The two screws at the front there on the bumper. Nice, and then the three on the top here needs to come off. Ooh, there's a small one. Small. Yeah, they're all small. Then this should come off now. Ugh. Right, what's going on here? Okay, I see. There's two screws all the way down here. See, there and there. That needs to come off. Oh, small again. Wonder why they're using small at the front and medium at the rear. Make it easier for John to remember. Come on. Thank you. Cool. Right. Now, oh, actually, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to take the pins out here. Do I need to? Yes, because I need to make sure that it's clean as well, don't I? See if these are the same size as at the rear. They are. Yeah, that's handy. Nice. And then obviously the front CVD drive shaft does not come out. Again, quite gunky. So that's facing me. So they will be facing away at the other end. So that's that there. And the drive shaft can now come out. Oh, okay. It's supposed to do that. Okay, need to be careful with that. Uggy. Metal bearings everywhere. Okay, be careful of this. I will show you how it comes off. So obviously you've got, let's get this out first. This is the end that goes into the front. You've got the smaller bearing and then you've got the larger bearing there. Should put that there. Then you've got the shaft, then you've got another smaller bearing and a washer. Then you've got the spur gear, then you've got the larger, and then obviously that comes off like so. So now you know how all of that goes back together. Dun, dun, dun. Like so. Cool, excellent. And inside it's not as bad as what the rear is. The rear is so much worse. Uggy. So rather than do this on camera, all it is a generalized cleaning, isn't it? So I'm just gonna get on and clean these bits and then we'll be back. See you soon. Welcome back. Okay, everything's had a nice, good clean, as you can tell. What you see here is this is actually the Shillong Q903 that I have. And it's got a very similar ESC on it. So I wanted to see if it was the motor or the ESC of the other one that has blown. So as you can see, we've got steering and... So the motor we know is absolutely fine. So the only thing that has broken after being sunk 7 times is the ESC, which is pretty impressive, isn't it? Let's be honest. Okay, as you can tell, I went a little bit further than just a quick clean. I've had it all out and given everything a proper clean because it deserves it, quite frankly. It survived 7 dunks in the sea, so it deserves my respect, quite frankly. So I've given it a good clean and then we can put it back together. Now, this I don't want to mess up because that's all in the position it should be in. So let's just put the parts there and bring this over. This fell out while cleaning. This is obviously just the steering arm that goes, actually let me put it through the actual steering would be good, and there. And then while we're there, we'll put the other steering on. That should be enough room for us to be able to lift up to put the differential in, as you know. So, also one other thing that I will say is both of these and all of the bearings, I did not wash. What I did was I gave them a good clean to get rid of all the sand and then I sprayed them with WD-40. So they've all been treated in that way. So these are good to go. Ish. It was towards me there and away on that side, which is good. Now, we have to put this in. And at the front, it was the large and the smaller bearings. So I'm going to take that off, those for the second, and feed them in by themselves. If I can get in there. Come on. There we go. And as you can see, it sits like so. I don't have to worry about putting the other part in now because obviously I didn't realize that the drive shaft is loose. White lithium grease because we want it to be nice and lubricated. So, not too much, not too little. Now we know that this one is for the rear because it's got that cover that goes there. So this obviously must be the front. And that goes backwards. So lift the steering out the way and then put that into position. Remember to put the cover underneath the front bumper there. Now I seem to remember that we had the smaller screws at the front, so that's one down there, one there. And then the front bumper with these slightly longer ones. So I'll do those now. What we'll do right now is put on this side. So put the CVD joint into position and then swing around the upper suspension arm. Get one of your long bolts, feed it through. And then the same on the other side. Oops. There we go. And in it goes. Excellent. We'll do the front shocks while we're here. Excellent. Just make sure that your steering's still in position. And then pull your servo cable over, because we need to put in the drive shaft. It goes down like so. Come on. I suspect it has to be down lower to go in. Yes, it does. Fabulous. So that goes there. As long as I can get this in, we're good to go. Perfect. This feeds into the spare gear. That's why I'm trying to. There we go. And make sure that the washer and the bearing are in position here, and then that's in position there. That goes away from us. Nice. Very good. As we now know that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the motor, I may as well put that back in straight away. Like so. And I am going to put some grease here because it's metal to metal. Nice. So this goes back on. Now remember, we have the two long screws that go all the way down, and then we have two of the shorter ones that go here. Oops. And then at the rear here, we've got the two for the bumper as well. Up. Nice. Now, that wasn't supposed to go in yet, was it? Da-da-da-da. Reason being that obviously this top plate has to go on, so top plate on. Remember that the plate on this side has the two holes where the steering arms go into. Very, very important that that happens, or else you won't have any steering. And then it was the three smaller ones at the front. And then last but not least, we must put in the drive shaft here. Dog bone, as they call it. Put the upper suspension arm over, grab your bolt, put it in. and then the 2 upper shocks. While I've got you, if you could subscribe to the channel, I'm getting to the point now where if subscriptions don't increase and views increase dramatically, then I'm going to have to give up, because YouTube again have cut my revenue. So now for a month's work, I'm earning $148 dollars, where when I was at 3,000 subs and a lot less views, I was earning 250. That's how much they've cut it down. So I'm getting to the point now, getting quite frustrated with YouTube. So anyway, ladies and gents, please take a look at that. Obviously I can't drive it because I don't have an ESC, but you can see quite obviously that things are as they should be. Oh, what a great car. So impressed, and honestly, if you haven't thought about picking up one of these, you really should. The fact that it survived what it did and hasn't rusted should be a major consideration for you. And of course, you know, even when I was reviewing it and whatnot, we've had no damage on it. So for just under $100 US, I think that's really worth your money. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, as I said. Thank you so much if you do. Hit that like button, that again helps very much, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.